Hey guys, welcome back. Stop, Talk, and Roll, episode 119, your number one show on YouTube for Jiu-Jitsu analysis. Today we have Rafael in the white gi and Joel in the blue gi, one of our newer members, giving a little round here. So, starting off, got some grip fighting on the knees. If you're new to the channel, I'm not huge on just fighting on the knees. Might as well just like somebody pull guard if you're not going to stand up. I'm going to let this play for like a second. I have some things already I'd like to say. Okay, a guard is established. I'll let this play out. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to back up. Okay, so, Rafael, I like the guard pull, but this grip, nothing wrong with the grip. I usually like cross collar grips if I'm going to play on bottom, but not a huge deal. What I would recommend though, at a certain point, like here, I would extend it and look to get like an overhook. Unless you're going to do something specifically with this grip. Reason being, this is a useful grip here when you're pulling them, right? When you're pulling them this way, definitely a good grip. But then now, what purpose is it serving at this point, right? Like, it's not really stopping him from posturing. You're not continuing to maintain like pressure down, which I think is what you're using it for. So I would just, you have it tight in here, reach over and overhook right over this arm. Like so. Yeah, like see, like you're using it to pull him down. That could be better served. This position can be better served with an overhook right here. And it'll also stop his hand coming through. And if it does come through, you can start looking for those like reverse Kimura positions. Where you basically lace through with your other hand would be on this wrist. And then this hand's coming through around and you grab a connection there. Joel, I like that you're trying to back up and get your posture. So your number one priority right now should be getting your posture back. So fighting those grips is good. Defending your neck is good. Be very careful about using your opponent as your base. I'm not saying not to do it. Like, it's definitely better than putting your hand on the floor. But Rafael could very easily right now, which I would recommend him to do, swing out like, that doesn't really help. Swing out in this direction, right? So like this hip goes towards the ceiling, all right? And you get on your side. And that would put your elbow past Rafael's center line, which would allow him to potentially take your back or look for some chokes. He already has his arm through, so he can look for Bravo. He could look for a Darce choke. He has some options here. So I'd be careful about doing this. It's not a wrong thing. It's just, it's risky. Okay. And are you being held down? Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, he's got a far grip. Yeah, good. Nice. So one thing you can consider, if you are so athletically inclined right here, you could actually post with this foot. So you turn your hips all the way to the ceiling and put it on the floor. A little bit more of athleticism required for that, but it does work. Rafael, same situation, just instead of the foot being out here, put a hook in. Let's see, where was the start of that sweep? Yeah, I would just swivel your leg down here, and you'll have a stronger sweeping position. One more thing to notice, I love that you do this. When you take him down, he comes to come up. Oh, sorry, skipped ahead. You hit the sweep right here. This leg pulling up is huge, guys. If Joel can't put his feet, if you sweep someone and they can't put their feet on the ground, they can't stand up, right? Like you can't stand up unless your feet are on the ground. So what this acts as, right, it should anyways, is pulling up to get that foot off the ground. Again, I'm not saying right or wrong because I'm not like the best with the gi, but I don't know what that is doing for you right now. Oh, chokes. Okay, that's fine. Joel, I like how you're getting your knee in. That's great. Oh, and you almost have a back take. Very nice. It might be hard with that gi grip, but maybe not. I would take this hand and just come over and hook like right over the shoulder and start torquing him in this direction. I also wouldn't spend forever looking for this hook, right? If that's not going to happen, I would slide down and try to hook this bottom leg with this leg, okay? Because this hip's just too far away. You're too much on your back. You'd have to really get on your side, and I imagine that gi grip is really hindering your ability to do that. Yeah, this is going to make it very hard. I like this, Rafael. Nice. Hip escape, Joel. Hip escape. Oh, your knee's in place. Never mind. Well, you still want a hip escape, but yeah. So here, I would lock in. Well, you have butterfly guard. I would look to scoot out this direction and get to the floor and try to aim to get your knee in front of his thigh, right? So basically, the back of his leg, the back of his knee is over in front of your thigh, and that's going to make it very difficult for you to get your guard back. And it's going to make it easier for him to progress the mount, especially if he just like kind of presses back. Like if this is his knee, if he kind of just like presses back with it, he's going to send your hip to the floor, which I believe is what he does in a second. He pushes this hand, he uses his hand to push this leg through. And then, and then he uses that leg to kick through. Good. All right, now we're in the mount. Whoever's filming this, unless it was me, thank you. You're in a tough spot right now in the gym. For those of you who aren't used to the gym, they're in they're in the doorway. Yeah, Joel, so good job on both you guys. Joel, you want to keep your elbows down. Easier said than done, of course. Rafael, it's a good job digging for the elbows. It's perfect. Really nice. Coming over, head and arm choke. You're electing for the rear naked trick grip, which is fine. Let's see if you get the finish, and I'll talk about it. Good. Okay, so some little things you can do, Joel. When you now, like you're learning jiu-jitsu. If you recognize this is coming, I would recommend just turning away and giving your back. Okay, it's gonna make it hard for him to finish the choke, but it's gonna make it easier for him to take your back. But it's kind of like one of those, live another day kind of thing. Rafael, for the choke itself, I would recommend, I used to do this grip, and I gotta be honest, I always had a hard time with it. If it was working for you, ignore what I'm about to say. But here's my recommendation. I prefer now to do an S grip. So right here, like one of these guys, S grip. And take this elbow and put it out here, actually. So you create a base of your elbows out here to your S grip through to your choke, okay? And what happens there is if Joel tries to bump you this way, you have a post that's here, and then when you come over with your other leg, you have a post that's here. Very difficult to knock you over. Here, that might have a chance, but you get the finish. So as long as you get the finish and you feel in control, keep doing your thing. That's definitely like a viable option for the head and arm choke. I think we did lapel chokes today, but nice. I like that you keep trying this. Very nice sweep. Beautiful. Joel, that happened because your head's too far over your hips. Which is, you know what? I talk about good mistakes and bad mistakes. When you're a white belt, you're not making like bad mistakes. You're learning jiu-jitsu. But I do like this as I think this is a good mistake because you're playing jiu-jitsu, right? Like you're going in To Rafael's guard, you're trying, which is better than, these guys aren't rolling right now, but like there's all this space, right? Like I know these guys, they're just in the middle of the round. If there's space, you're not really engaging in jiu-jitsu, right? Like you're not doing jiu-jitsu. So while this is a mistake, I consider it a good mistake and something that you'll improve on over time, but you'll get better faster because you're trying to engage, right? You want to engage, you want to participate, you want to see what Rafael's doing. Maybe you pick up what he's doing offensively. You're like, oh, cool, I want to try that. Or maybe just like defensively, like, I need to be aware of this. To fix it, let's go back a little bit before grips were established. For me, if I'm in Rafael's position and I'm in like I'm like salivating right here. Like this is your head is so far in front of your knees, right? This is kind of a weird angle, but your head is so far in front of your knees. It's not hard for me to just pull you over. I wouldn't even do any fancy sweep. Like I would literally just pull you forward. Okay? And then you're going to fall. Like you have no choice. Which I think is what Rafael might do here. And if you notice what he's doing too, Rafael's trying to put his feet on your knees to basically make it even worse for you. So just kind of wedge. So when he pulls you forward, your knees stay right in place. You're going to fall. Right? Like when we walk, when we move, our heads are stacked over our shoulders. So again, it's a mistake, but a good mistake. You're trying to play jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying there's not a time and a place to put your head over your hips and drive down and put pressure. I'm not saying that. But like now you're in a little bit of a safer position, but now you need to be careful because now your lapel's over your neck and look, you have no post. You have nothing to post with if Rafael elects to take you in this direction. Look, you put a post, but he takes you through anyways. So you could be a little bit more diligent with the post. But good on Rafael if you notice his structures here to here to here and then down. Rafael elects to take him. I've lost my mouse. There it is. Right here where he doesn't have base. Boom. Nice job. Establish side control. Love the frame. Joel, perfect. Love it. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be successful or not, but over time, you're going to get great at it. Your arms in, your knees coming in, you're trying to make an elbow-knee connection. Perfect. It's easier said than done, but you're doing the right thing right now. Yeah, just keep at it. Just keep at it. Rafael, good. Okay, almost. I thought you were going to go for north-south. It looked like you were for a second, and then Joel beat you around. Yeah, right there. I would keep going to north-south. Take this hand and stick it right here. Get that false grip in there. Jermel special. Nogi classes, we've been studying that. Also found Mike Jermel has like a happy pill project, I think it's called. It's on Instagram. I'll try to link it. It's got a bunch of like little mini lessons, and then I found them on YouTube actually too. I'll link their page. Tell them I sent you there. Maybe they can like me back. All right. Speaking of liking, while we're here, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I get these episodes out every morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Saturday. Ooh, look at that, mid-roll. Okay, so I totally missed a bunch there. Playing guard. Oh, that's why, because that got messed up. Okay, I mean, you just got to kind of establish a guard more. Keep your knees up when you get to side control so this doesn't happen. Oh, actually, that was from half guard. That was pretty good. Well, in that case, close your half guard. So Joel, you might not even know about this position yet. When you have a leg in between like this, if you just close your guard like you would in closed guard, you have half guard, okay? It won't allow you to get over. But I love Rafael. Good job. I'm a huge proponent of if you're in half guard and their guard's open, take your leg out. Like, don't hang out in there. So you do that immediately, gets him out. And immediately start driving to get the elbows above the head. Be careful with this, Joel. You might get away with that a little bit more with other white belts, but upper belts are not gonna bump over that easily with a big hug, and that usually just makes things easier. That was good though. Nice hip escape there. Rafael, where'd all these leg lapel chokes come in? I like this. Good job. Nice. That just saved you from the choke. Let me point that out. So you're able to. Oh, Rafael, you put your hand in there. Yeah, but he locks it up. That's like a bicep slicer, and you push away. Good. Rafael, if you're going to do that, I would look to get closer. Your head's in the way. Let's see. I would look to get closer to the knee and drive down. The closer you get to the foot, the higher up in the lever. In this situation, he's going to have more mobility with his knee, which is going to make it easier for him to push away. Nice job. You had a half guard situation there again. Rafael, don't leave your hand in there. Reverse triangles, but you have your knee up, so you're okay. Same thing. So this is what I was trying to say before. I thought you had half guard, I thought you were in side control, but you're in half guard. Keep your. Oh, actually, I take it back. You're driving his foot down. Hey, I take it back. That was a great, nice job. So what's happening there? Let's watch this for like the 18th time. Rafael, you do need to watch out for a reverse triangle, but he has a pant leg and he's driving it to the floor the whole time. Okay? He goes to pass around, gets a knee on belly. Joel turns his hips away. So right now, Joel, your only option really is the turtle. So I would keep going all the way to turtle. And Rafael, good job on keeping this hip right here, right? Keeping his legs pointing up. So it's easy for the shin to slide across directly into mount. Boom. Nice job. Joel, hip escapes here. Hip escapes. The bump and roll is going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but it's going to be hard. Watch out for the arm bar, obviously. He sits straight back. Let's see. I'm going to let this play out. Let's see what happens. I forget what episode it was, but I had a whole armbar positional with Will a few weeks ago that I would recommend watching right here. I go into a lot of detail on how to capture the arm. I'll quickly touch on it. Oof. Nice. Good job. You're thinking about tapping and then you're like, nah, because you were good. All right. So we're in the arm bar. We sit to the arm bar. Lean forward, leg comes over the head. You sit back. So right here, I would look to switch hands. Wait, let me think. Is that the right hands? Oh, I'm backwards. I mean, you could do it like this, but I think, yeah, you want a Kimura grip, right? Which would be the other way, yes. So switch. So bring this hand on top and this hand through the forearm here. Active wrists, both hands. You do that. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the details because it'd take forever to explain it. And it's just going to be like weird to hear. Like you're going to have to see it. If you watch the armbar episode, I do it a bunch of times, which is where I'm shoving the knife edge of my wrist into the bicep and forearm of their arm. But motorcycle grip, both grips, right? So you're just rolling them both over. And then you have to look and figure out where the opening is of his hand. So it's going to be in this direction. So you're going to keep his hand and pull it up in this way. And it'll pop off. And then the Americana that you switch for. So to finish this, you need to bring his elbow to his ribs and keep his hand on his mat and then raise it nice and slow. You went really fast with that, which I know you were fine because you're in the air. And yet, obviously, Joel, you're okay. You're thinking about tapping, and then you realized you didn't have to. So, like, awesome job. Before I say anything, you should tap early, tap often. Like, don't risk getting hurt, okay? It's not smart. This might be a bad comparison because people probably do this, but, like, if you're at a weightlifting gym and you usually do a 200-pound squat and your max is like maybe like 220, and then you're like randomly like, oh, let's just throw 300 pounds on the bar. It's probably not going to work out, right? So you don't do that. You don't put yourself in those risky situations to get hurt. You keep doing your 200 pounds. If you're in a submission and you're like, this might hurt, like just tap out. Don't like, oh, let's see how far it can go and then get yourself hurt. Just tap out and you'll learn it over time. Joel here is he was thinking about tapping and recognizing, like, I don't know if it was a conscious thing or like, oh, this isn't hurting, but I'm hoping Joel's learned at this point, if we've gone over the Americana while he's here, that it needs to be against your ribs, hand on the mat, and then you raise it. Maybe he recognized that mid position and was like, oh, you know what? I'm fine. Let me work my way out of it. Or maybe he didn't know that, but he's just like, I know this is Americana. I want to tap. Wait a minute. This isn't hurting. I'm okay. And he brought it. He came and rescued his arm, brought it across, and survived it. So awesome job, on both parties. Great job, guys. All right. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Please leave a comment. And I need some videos. Let me get some videos. I'm running low. Might have to go on a filming spree again. All right. Have a lovely day. Thank you.